Good day everyone. So welcome to Yogi Bad's Fitness 30-Day Yoga Challenge. So if you haven't subscribed yet, or if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell so the next time I'll be posting a video you will be updated.
I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go. I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna.
So here in this channel, I'm posting fitness stuff, lots of fitness videos like gym workouts, bodyweight training, and mostly our yoga flows or yoga practice. So this would be the first day of our yoga 30-day challenge. So the goal of this challenge is to encourage everyone to do more yoga more often, and I hope at the end of this practice or this challenge you have more understanding of your body, of how you feel, how you think, because that's the real essence of doing yoga, to develop more connection or deeper connection with oneself and with everything around you. Because every asana is designed to balance secretion of different glands within the body, which affects the emotions, and how we feel affects how we feel or how we think. So doing these yoga poses every day will keep our emotions and way of thinking in check. So for the first week of the challenge, we'll be working out the lower part of the body. We'll be working out flexibility and strength. So we'll be working the inner thighs, your hip muscles, hamstrings, and quads. And for the second week, we'll be working out the upper body. We'll be combining the lower part and the upper body. We'll be again doing flexibility and strength. And on the third week, that would be I think the third and the fourth week would be the more challenging week of the challenge, because for the third we'll be doing arm balancing poses. So hopefully within that week you've gained more strength to do arm balancing stuff. And the final week we'll be doing inversions. Without further ado, let's begin our first practice. So ready your mat, watch and follow along. So let us begin the practice by sitting on the floor. So you pull your sit bones backward so you could sit or tilt your pelvis upright, and you can make your spine more vertical and straight. Now just take your hands on your knees and move your shoulders backward and create space on your chest or the front body. Now be as upright as you can, and the first thing we should be doing is being aware how we breathe. So remember that the breath is an important part of the practice. So to check if you're breathing properly, you position your palms on your chest and on the belly, and just close your eyes. So every time you inhale, you notice that the chest and the belly expanding. So fully expand the chest, the abdomen, or the rib cage. Then as you exhale, let your chest and the belly relax. So notice your belly is moving inward on your exhale, the chest is collapsing. Again, inhale, you expand your chest, you expand your belly. And you exhale, relaxed your whole body. So take your hands beside your ribs. So also try to feel the expansion, outward expansion of your ribs on your inhale. So really inflate your thoracic or the rib cage. And as you exhale, just let the sides of your ribs go closer toward the midline. Again, you inhale, you broaden out the ribs. And you exhale, you let your whole body relax. So there you have it. You try to breathe in and out through your nostrils and notice how the body is really expanding. The chest, the ribs, the belly. And try to combine every asana or every movement with your breath. So the basic principle is when you inhale, you try to create space, you try to create length. And whenever you exhale, you bend forward, or you twist, or you bend sideways. So remember that, and see to it that you're not forcing your breath, you're not really putting too much effort into it. So now we'll be going to all fours. You position your palms on the floor below your shoulders, then take your knees below the hip. So every time your hands touches the floor, you have to really spread out your fingers. Now either you point or tuck your toes. So let's create more mobility on your hip and on shoulders, as well as the spine. So you inhale and try to flex or roll the hip bone forward, sinking in the lower back and opening your chest, extending the chin forward. On the exhale, chin toward your chest, pull the sternum up, navel in, and extend your seat bones down. So you really hunch your shoulders. Again, inhale, roll the hip bone over the thighs, activate the back muscles, open your front. Exhale, chin to your chest, draw your navel in. Again, inhale, look forward, flatten your back, or concave the spine. Exhale, navel in, look between your knees or just look down. Now go to a neutral spine, elongate the back body, then point your toes together, then go down on your heels, then slide your hands forward and let your chest fall between the thighs, and you have to continuously sink or roll the hip bone forward so that you don't put pressure on your lower back. Now lower your head on the floor and see to it that you're continuously extending the hands forward to create space and length on the sides of the body. So just stay here for a few breaths. So remember this pose, this is your child pose or resting pose. Anytime you feel fatigue or anytime you want to rest, you can always go back here and take your time to recover. So going back up to your all fours, again rearrange your hands underneath your shoulders and the knees underneath the hip. Now you bring the right foot between your palms, followed by the left. So either you take your feet together or apart, toes are pointing forward, you take your hands on your shin bones and just micro bend the knees for a moment. Or if you're tight on your hamstrings, you have to fold the knees a little bit. Now shifting the weight forward, so notice the balls of your feet pressing on the floor, and then extend your spine. Look ahead and try to open your chest fully. Now on the exhale, you hinge through your hip joint and then fully lengthen the spine, letting the head fall. So take a few breaths here. For some, you can maybe fully straighten the legs if that's okay with your back or with your leg muscles. So what you don't want here is to move the head too close to your shins, creating discomfort on the neck or on the lumbar spine. So you just let your body fall naturally. Now look forward and make the spine really flat, and then come up with your back straight and long. So again, move a little bit forward on top of your mat, stand straight and activate the whole body. Now you breathe in and bring the arms up and over the head. In case you cannot extend the elbows, feel free to take your palms apart and see that your shoulder blades are not moving or not hugging your neck. Now lift the ribs and bring the arms as far back as you can, and see if you can lean backward, pushing the seat bones down and keeping your belly tight. On your exhale, keep your spine straight and hinge from the hip. Again, bend from the hip joint, then reach the floor, or you can just take your hands on your shins. Look forward and again straighten the back body. Then exhale, shift the weight forward as you bend. Again, stay here for 3 deep breaths. Remember to keep the breath moving through the nostrils. And slowly look forward, keep your spine straight and lift the chest up. Bring the arms upward, then exhale, hands on your sides. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Bring it behind the head and lift the ribs, the sternum. Maybe look backward but don't jump the neck and the lumbar. On your exhale, you fold from the waist. Take your hands on your shins or on the floor. So full exhalation. Next inhale, again look to the front. Then exhale, bend. So remember to go with the breath. Every time you inhale, emphasize the elongation of the spine, and every time you exhale, see if you can bring more stretch on the leg muscles. Now look forward, make the spine long and come up. Inhale. Then exhale, hands down on your sides. Again, inhale, you bring the arms up. This time you stand straight, bend forward, keeping the spine long, reach the floor. Look forward at the next inhale, then bend the legs, palms down, and go to a plank pose. So here you stack your joints, the elbows, shoulders, and wrists, and try to align the hip, the head, shoulders. So try to imagine that one straight line from the crown of the head extending down to your heels. Now bending the elbows. For easier option, you can just take the knees down. Now keep your core muscles tight and bend the elbows halfway. Then you push the hip down, lift the chest up, and try to press through the tops of the feet and squeeze more through the middle of the spine. Then exhale, curl the toes and lift the hip backward and upward. So bending the knees a little bit so that you can emphasize the length of the upper body. So keeping your arms straight and strong, flex the hip or roll the hip bone forward and see that you pull your sit bones as high as you can. So you're turning the arm bones outward, the thigh bones inward. Then maybe for the others, you can slowly straighten the legs. Or if you want, you can move, you can micro bend the knees, you can pedal your feet, or just move the hips side to side just to release any discomfort or tension within the body or restrictions maybe. If you feel good, then stay for 5 more cycles. And then from here, you lower your knees down to the all fours. Again, realign the palms, shoulders, and the knees with your hip, or the knees and the hip. Now extend your right leg backward and up. So as you do that, you're not lifting the right side of your hip. You just keep the sides of your hip even. Again, flex your back like what you did with your cow pose. Then exhale, bring the knee forward to your chest. You round the back. Again, inhale, you push the leg up and back, creating length on the front body. Then exhale, knee forward, maybe head touching the knee to activate your abdomen more. Inhale, lift the leg higher. So flex your glutes, hamstrings, and back. Then exhale, bring the knee in. Now you step the foot forward between your palms and then sink the hip. Now take that left knee an inch or two backward. In case you're not comfortable with your knee, you can place towel or pillow. Or if you have knee pad, you can put knee pad for the knee to support. Now sink the hip as low as you can. Most of the time when you step forward, the knee is here, so your weight is going down straight to the knee joint. The weight of the hip or the body is going down to the knee joint. So what you should do is to push the hip down and forward. In that way, you can feel the quad stretch as well as the deep muscles of your hip, psoas muscles. Now keep pushing the hip as low as you can and look forward. Now try to turn the left thigh bone in. And then straighten the right leg, pulling the back or lengthening the back, then take your hands below your shoulders. So there are 2 options you can do here. If you want to stretch the ankle, you point your foot. If you want to stretch more of your calf muscles, then flex the foot. Again, roll the hip bone forward and make sure that the spine is really long and straight. Now on your exhale, maybe you can go lower. For some, you can move your head down to your shin. But again, don't force, don't go too far too soon. Just notice how the body is responding. So moving on to the front, curl that back leg and extend the spine. Fully straighten through the back heel. Then keeping your leg muscles strong, balance the hip by turning the left thigh bone inward. You come up and extend your hands over the head. So from the hip up to the tips of your fingers, you try to lengthen. Extend upright. Again, turn that belly in and lift the ribs up. Now you step that back foot an inch or two forward and straighten both legs. And then again, balance your hip more by turning the left thigh bone in. Then extend your spine, lifting the chest. Hands on your waist, squeeze your shoulders inward to keep the broadness or the space on your chest. Then exhale, you bend from the right hip. So you want to align the sternum, the center of your chest with your right knee. So there's a little bit leftward rotation on the body, happening on the body as you fold. So the easiest version of the pose is to pause halfway. If you don't feel anything, then go all the way down. Then take your hands to the floor. Or if you cannot reach the floor, just take your hands on your shins. For those who can touch the mat, maybe you can take your head down again to your shin. But don't stress the back too much. Now you look forward and bend your right leg. Readjust that left leg backward. Then step your right leg back to a plank. Keeping your whole body straight. Again, for beginners, you can have the knees down for easier option. Then shift the chest forward as you bend the elbows about 90 degrees. Pressing the feet and the hip down, you lift the chest. Then you exhale, curl the toes under, lift the hip bone back. Then push the mat strongly to pull your shoulders and hip backward to create length. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Let's take one more breath here. And we'll be doing the same thing on the left leg, so set your knees on the floor back to your all fours. Now left leg up and back. You inhale and try to arch the spine. Exhale, knee forward to your chest. Inhale, again lift the leg up, activate the muscles of your back. Breathe out, knee forward. We'll do that for the last time. Inhale and exhale, knee forward. Now take the foot between your palms. Again, adjust your right knee an inch or two back, then hip forward. Pressing down through the pinky toe side of your back foot, sinking the hip and feel the hip muscles. Also feel the glutes and the glutes or the front of the right thigh stretching. Open your chest. And then from here, you pull the hip backward, straighten the left leg. So again, point or curl your toe, it's up to you. It depends how you want to feel this asana. Straighten your back, create length, and try to move your belly closer to your thigh. In that way, even if you don't fold, if you can manage to bring the belly closer to the thigh, it will stretch your legs more. But others, you can go deeper for you to feel a deeper stretch. Again, look forward and bend your left leg, curl your right foot, and straighten through the back heel. So see if you can make the left leg 90 degrees. Aligning the knee over the heel, then come up to your high lunge. You extend through the tips of your fingers, making the spine as upright as you can. Breathe in and breathe out. Now you push down through the left foot and step your right foot an inch or two forward, then take your hands on your waist. Now to balance the hip, right hip in, left thigh bone turning outward. You squeeze in your shoulders and the elbows, bringing the chest up. Inhale. Then exhale, you hinge from the hip joint, extending the crown of the head forward. Again, continue bending right through the hip crease, and maybe you can take your hands on your shins or on the floor. As long as you're okay with the stretch, you're not hurting the leg, you're not hurting the back, you're still comfortable with where you are at, then you can go lower. Again, notice that when you fold, you're not flexing, you're not compressing the belly or the abdominal muscles too much. Now look forward, again, lengthen the back body. You fold the left leg, readjust the back leg, and take your palms on the floor. Have your legs together on a plank pose, then lower down to half plank. Coming up to your up dog, you push the hip down and lift and broaden your chest. Tuck your toes, return to your down dog, exhale. Again, inhale and exhale here for 3, 2, and 1. And by the way, remember the child pose. If you want to take your child pose, you can have your knees down and rest. Now you fold the knees and walk forward to the top of your mat. Hands on your shins, elongate the spine, then breathe out. You fold into half. Now inhale, you come up, raise the arms over the head. You're going to try to find length, and exhale, hands down to the sides, and take a few breaths here. And now inhale, you reach the arms upward. Then exhale, bend over the thumbs. Now look forward again, lengthen and open the torso. Bend the legs, palms on the floor. Going back to your plank. Then lower the knees on the floor. You go down to your child pose, hands forward. Let the body rest between your thighs or over the thighs. And just breathe normally. So try to relax your shoulders, your hip muscles. Just let everything go. Or let the weight of your body sink down the floor. Now slowly take your hands below your shoulders to push yourself up. Then move your hip to one side and then extend your legs forward. Now you hug your right knee to your chest and then take your foot on the inner side of your thigh, dropping the knee out to the side. You adjust your seat bones backward and you want your pelvis, the pelvic bone, to roll upright. If you cannot roll the hip upward, then micro bend the knees for you to do that. Okay, that will give you more length on the spine so that when you fold, you don't stress the lumbar too much. Now arms over the head, inhale. So make sure to elongate from the hip to the tips of your fingers. Now keeping that length, exhale, you fold and reach the toe. Once you have the toe, remember you can just hold the floor or shins, never mind if you cannot touch the toe. But if you have the toe, then extend the spine forward. Again, readjust the seat bone so you have space to bend without stressing the lower back. If you have this pose, you can stay, or if you feel the stretch, then stay. If not, then bend lower. And maybe, for others, you can fully straighten the legs without rounding the back too much. And for the final pose, you can move your head down to your shins. But again, moving the head to your shins is not the goal of the asana. It's not the goal of this pose. The goal is to feel the stretch on your back sides, on your spine, or length on the spine as you stretch the back muscles. Now coming up, straighten the back body. And then extend your right leg forward. We'll be doing the same pose on the left. So take the heel close to your inner thigh. Readjust the seat bones to elongate the upper body. Now you have to point your foot up. Inhale, arms overhead. Then exhale, you hinge from the hip joint. Then again, take your toe, the shin on the floor. You can stay halfway, but if you don't feel anything, go lower breath by breath. Then go with the breath. Fold inch by inch. Stop when you feel enough. Now then slowly lift the chest. Again, straighten your back, take your knee in, and extend the leg forward. So once again, readjust the hip, toes pointing up. Now arms overhead, inhale. Then exhale, hinge from the waistline. Reach the toes or the edges of your feet or the shin bones. Look forward, another inhale, you lengthen the spine, adjust the seat bones back, then exhale, you fold. So try to firm the front thighs and try to lengthen your chest, your belly. Once you cannot roll the hip bone forward anymore, then that's the time you just let your body, your head fall naturally. Again, naturally, not forcing anything. And then slowly come up. You lift the chest on the inhale. As you exhale, relax. We'll be going down on the mat now. You extend the legs to the edges of your mat, bottom sides of the mat, then lie down slowly. Now here, take your feet together and hug your right knee down to your chest. As you do that, see to it that you're not bending the left leg. You extend the left leg forward, suppressing the back of the thigh down. Now, easiest option is to just hold the back of the thigh as you extend the leg, and then pull the leg down to the body. For more advanced, if you can reach the foot, take the foot and pull your leg closer. So you have to feel the stretch here on the hamstring, on your calf muscle, without letting the arm bone, the shoulder lift. So don't let the arm bone get pulled by the leg. So ground your shoulder blades down so that you don't create stress or you don't strain the neck muscles. And then bend your right leg, hug your knee down, and from here bring it down to your left. As you do that, readjust the hip, so tilt your pelvis sideways, then extend the left hand to the other side. So you can look to your left shoulder. Now you have to feel your right hip here, the right lower back, and the right chest stretching. Then coming back up to the center. Once again, recenter the hip, pull the thigh down, then extend it forward. Now take the other leg, pull the thigh down to your chest, extend the right leg forward and try to flex or extend the heel. Reach the shin or the back of the shin or maybe the foot if you're more flexible. Again, see to it that you're not letting the leg pull your arm bones up. Ground your shoulder blades. Continue pushing the right thigh down. If the knee bends or begin to bend, then you will lose the stretch. Now you fold the knee, pull it down, and take it down to the right side of the mat. Readjust the hip, then extend your right hand sideways. Now take your knee back to the center. Center your hip, pull the thigh down, and release the pose. Now hug both knees to your chest. Really squeeze your thigh bones toward the body. Then roll side to side, decompressing the entire back part of the body. Then you extend the legs forward for the final pose. Set your feet as wide as the hip. And just let the leg bones roll outward. Have your hands beside the hip with your palms facing up. So externally rotate your arm bones and try to ground your shoulders. Gently move your chin to your chest, creating length on your neck. So it's time for the body to rest and recover. See that you're relaxed. Any tension on your feet, on your calf muscles, on your thighs and hip muscles. You're relaxed. Your hips, your abdomen, your chest and back body. Soften your shoulders, your arms and fingers. Now relax your neck, your face and head. Do a quick scan on the body from head to feet. And if there is anything else you want to change or move, feel free to do it. Now be still, completely still. Let yourself relax. Now begin to move your toes and your fingers. Have your feet together. You can extend your arms over the head. So fully stretch your whole body. On your exhale, you have your knees down to your chest. Roll over your right and stay there for a breath or two, resting the hand over your right arm. And slowly push yourself up and sit. So that's the end of our class. So thank you guys for joining today's practice. I hope to see you guys again tomorrow. So namaste.